Everyone who has sex in this movie dies. It's awesome.
No sex.
Run! Wait. Selfie time.
Hey, what's up, jabroni? Steven here, and I got the chance to check out the horror comedy, The Final Girls. Now, the best way to describe this movie is the last action hero, that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from like the 80s or 90s, mixed with a horror from the 80s, so like Jason or Halloween. And what I mean is that the film centers on one girl in particular and her mother, and a tragedy happens. She loses her mother, and her mother was like an 80s iconic actress in horror movies. And the movie has a cult following, and things go wrong, and somehow they end up inside the movie. And essentially they have to figure out a way to get out of the movie. But they're in a horror movie where teens die. If you have sex, you die. The thing that I liked about the movie is that the movie knows the rules and how things work in horror movies. So they kind of make fun of it the whole way throughout the movie. Everything that was made fun of about the 80s and horror movies is made fun of here. And the kids all know the rules and they're trying to figure out how to get out of there. But at the same time, there's some emotional moments because the girl whose mother dies, she's seeing her mother, and her mother's playing like a character, so her mother doesn't know who she is. And it's got some emotional moments in it, but I think the best things about this movie are the fact that it's very creative, smarter than I was expecting it to be. I saw the trailer like 2 weeks ago and I was like, oh, interesting. And it's actually a lot smarter than I thought it was going to be. And it's filled with all these actors that you've seen in either TV or behind the scenes in movies. It has the girl from Vampire Diaries. I can't remember her name, Nina something. It has one of the dudes from the Hunger Games, the dude from Silicon Valley, this girl from the Amityville or the American Horror Story. I mean, and the most recognizable name I think is Malin Akerman, I believe her name is. She's been on a bunch of stuff. So it's got all these people that you've seen before, and even the dude from Pitch Perfect 2, or Pitch Perfect 1, I mean, he's in it. I mean, I don't remember what his name is, but it's all these actors that you've seen, and you're like, this movie has got all these secondary actors that you don't really take too much notice in, making a really fun ass movie, very much in the same way as The Last Action Hero with horror mixed in. And that's the only way I could describe this movie. It's a lot of fun, makes fun of the tropes, has some emotional moments in it that really hit, like some emotional moments that you're like, wow, like this is hard hitting. I mean, I thought the ending was fantastic. I just had a really fun time watching this movie. It came on a limited release today on October 9th. It's on demand, that's how I saw it. And it's just a lot of fun. I highly recommend seeing it. If you like horror comedies, the only thing I can compare it to that I've seen recently was Dale and Tucker versus Evil, I think is the name of that movie, which I also really dug. So if you dug that movie or dig movies that are very spoofy, good movies, not like Scary Movie or any of these shitty movies, it's like a good spoof movie on horror movies, I recommend checking out The Final Girls. I think it's a lot of fun. It's not perfect. I mean, it's got some things, some story elements don't make a lot of sense. And of course, even though it is making fun of all the cliches, the kids themselves that are in it that know the cliches do cliche things sometimes where you can get out of it, but they do stupid stuff sometimes. But it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I don't really do many reviews like I used to, but if you guys definitely get the chance to see The Final Girls, I highly recommend it. Let me know if you have seen it or even if you've heard of the movie, and comment below. I think you guys should definitely check it out. I'm giving it a flat out 4. I think it's a fun movie. Does everything that it was trying to do. For the kind of movie that it is, it's probably one of the better spoof movies that I've seen in a very long time, and it knows what it wants to be. And the main girl in this movie, she's like the sister of Farmiga girl from Up in the Air and Bates Motel. Like, I think that's her sister, a very young sister. I think she's only like 21. But people keep a lookout for her. She's been in a couple things, and I think she might be making a name for herself in a couple years, or maybe soon. I don't know. But pretty much check out The Final Girls. I think it's highly a fun movie that you guys could actually enjoy and just kick back, have some fun, watch it with some friends, and I think it's a movie that you guys will very much enjoy. And as many of you guys know, I don't make a lot of movie reviews like I used to, but if you guys definitely want to hear my thoughts on movies that have come out to theaters, definitely check out the podcast. It's on this channel. It's called the Movie Backlot Podcast. Do it every single week. If you want to check it out on iTunes, Movie Backlot Podcast, we're everywhere that everywhere the podcasts are available. So if you want to hear me and a couple of my friends talk about movies and the ones that come to theaters that I don't get a chance to review, definitely go check it out, man. Check out the Movie Backlot Podcast. The video should be on here. The video should also be up on iTunes, or the audio should be up on iTunes. And pretty much, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.